Hello, hello, welcome. There is supposed to be a screen on here. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Oh my God. Definitely wrong one. Here we go. We're getting the stream set up. We want to get the full screen here. We want to be able to see everything. Hopefully everything. There we go. That's probably not correct either. All right, we're going to work in. We're going to work in this area right here. There we go. I think this will be fine for the stream. So we created I created a automatic to-do list template. You can get it at campyapproved.gumroad.com/l/auto to-do list. I put in the description the link to this spreadsheet. It's free. It's a free automatic checklist. And we're going to update it a little bit today. We're going to add a new column called priorities or category. Maybe we'll do priority first. And we're going to add an automation priority. We're going to add a few priorities. Let's see. Let's try to make it so we can see what we're doing. We're going to add a drop-down menu. The drop-down menu we're going to add is just a few options. High, not all caps. High, medium, medium, low, none. So we're going to color code these a little bit. Medium and high. It's definitely red. None is, I'll leave it at, we want it this blue. All right. Oh, we don't want to, we want to D2 to D all the way down. And we don't want none to be like blue. We want it to be a little bit different. Maybe purple for medium. Okay, so we can set priority here. But as we set priority, we want to make sure that our items are sorted correctly all the time. So a little bit about this automations that if you don't know yet. We have a done task date. We write a new task. Automatically the checkbox is shown here. If we click the checkbox, it will automatically date it. If we delete the task, we'll delete everything else. So some members and non-members have gotten this week, Better Sheets, and suggested a few interesting things to add. So we're adding these right now, priority, but we're also going to add a automation, which means it's going to get a little bit more complicated. In the automations menu, we already have a set up an email every day to get the top task that's done. We can send a test email and we can stop emails. We're going to add a section. Let me see what that. Let's add a new section here. Add submenu. We're going to add it here. UI. Add item. The item is going to be called sort by priority. We're going to, in parentheses, say high to low. And we're going to call it, the actual function we're going to call sort by high. High first. Don't know if this is want to do. Don't know if this is it. Ah, that's what it is. This is in here. Sort of always get this wrong. Sort of. There. We're going to call this sort. Sorting. It's a sorting menu. It's going to add a little submenu in there. Sort by priority. Don't need that. There we go. I think that's good. Now we want to create the automation. We're going to call it function sort by high. And this automation is going to take, let's look at it. We want to have high priority at the top. So one actually simple way we could do it is use this sorting Z to A, and we could sort of figure out a way to say, like, maybe this is a number instead of a word. And we can say 10, 5, 1, and 0. You can apply to all. Could do it this way. And now we just need to sort. So how do we sort a column by app script? And we'll look at this, how to sort a range of data. Just dot sort. Let's see if that works. So we're going to take a range, spreadsheet app dot get sheet active sheet. We want the active sheet is the one called tasks. Get sheet by name. Tasks. Can we do sort here? Sort. Yes. Column position is we want is 4. Is that it? So let's look at sort app script. I think it's here. Class range. Maybe we need a range sort. Sheet object. Sorts the values in the first column, second column. Sorts descending. So this is what we'll do. We'll do sort column. And then we can do multiple ones. Okay. So instead of 4, we'll write this column 4 and ascending, meaning ascending, if it's true, means 0 upwards. If it's false, it's going to be descending downwards. So that should be what we need. Let's add a few. Actually, we want it unsorted first. 10. And then let's just click sort by height and run. See what happens. Cannot convert object. Convert. I think we need to pick a range here then. This sort might be different sort in sheet class app script. Class sheet. Let's look at this sort. Sort column position. Oh, it's even easier. Yeah, for the sheet sort, don't need these curly brackets, just 4 and false. Even easier. Just take out these curly brackets. All right, let's try it again. Save it, run it. And it is sorted. Great. So we have one little issue, which is that the done tasks are still here. And we may want to archive them. So let's create a new sheet, duplicate this sheet, and call it archive. This is a request that once we mark done, that they don't necessarily get deleted, but that they get copied to the archive. So I'm going to delete all of that. We'll keep the same structure, but once it clicks done, we're going to also copy it so that we can delete it. See, we delete it. We also want to, and we have to add to the automation. So two things. We need to add to the automation for priority, the D column, that it clears as well. So let's look at that on edit first. On edit, if this one, this is when we clear, this is when we create checkbox. This one is when we add timestamp. So it's this last one, we need to set a value. I think the same thing, we just add one more line, null, but of column 4. And let's see if that works first before we move on. Yep, that works perfectly. And now we want to add an item, and when we check it off, not only does it add the date here, but it also archives it, so it copies it to the archive. So let's look at that. I think it's just this one, insert checkboxes. So if we're old value is null and we're editing the column 2, we're just adding something. So let's take this, get active sheet, get range, row 1, 1, and we have actually we have 1 row, but how many columns? We have 4 columns, and we want to copy. We can copy. We can also get values. We can variable. We can do this a few ways. Copy to, and where are we copying it to? We're going to copy it to, I don't want to do archive, copy. I want to variable archive equals spreadsheet app. It's a different way. Dot get active spreadsheet, get sheet by name, archive. So we got the archive. We need this as get values. It's going to be called variable data to archive. So let's look at this because I want to see logger.log what this is. It's going to be an array of 4 items, and we're going to append archive, append row. But how do we append this row of items? Well, we can probably do data to archive 0 and do that we need to put it all in 1. So 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So this is the array of items. 3. I think this is going to work. We also want to log it just in case it doesn't work. So let's, wait, that's not creating the checkbox. We are doing the wrong place. We want it in this timestamp. That's where we want it. Let's save it there and see what happens when we add an item. So we also want, let's say priority 1 there. I'm going to come back to our executions and look at it. Looks like we have some, some objects. So let's see. We didn't get the data, we got some weird object. I think I know what we have to do. I think this values, we can probably even look at the log and see. going on? See, it's it's an array inside an array. So I think we just do 0. Or actually 1, 0, 0. And this is going to be 0, 1, 0, 2, and 0, 3. I think. But let's test it out and see. So we have this object. We don't want that object. We want to archive an item. Automatically we have that. And let's look at it. Archive. Great. Let's do it again and see if it doesn't overwrite it. We are good. Done. And it's already in our archive. Fantastic. So now, when we delete this, we are not deleting it from our sheet forever. It is now somewhere along the lines in our sheet, saved. This true could probably be better. We should probably not put this, but do a checkbox. I think we need to insert a checkbox. Where do we insert a checkbox? Or it technically doesn't matter. Actually, maybe we just leave it blank there. That might be better because archived items are done. We don't need a checkbox to say that they're done, in fact. So that's probably better. Let's check that out. Does this work? So we add there, add a checkbox here, add the checkbox there. Does this work? Yes. So we just keep the done column here, but we know that they're all done anyways. Yes, it works. Yay, yay, yay. Fantastic. We just added a few automations to this, improved our sheet so that we have a priority tab. We can also, so now that we have this sort by high, let's do sort by low. Let's see the low priority. So we're going to take actually all of this and paste it, give it a little bit of an indent so we see the submenu. Sort by low, and we'll call this low to high. Just in case you want to see some low priority stuff that might be easy to do. Let's call it here, sort by low. And instead of false, we'll do true. That's just replacing ascending from descending to ascending. Fantastic. Now we have to get it into our automations menu by just making sure it's saved and then refreshing. Make sure if you want a copy of this, go to campyoapproved.gumroad.com/auto-to-do list. Again, the description has the link to there. Looks like we have an issue with our app script. Let's go fix it. Let's look at our executions. It'll tell us there's probably an error in our onopen. Custom menus must contain at least one item. Code line 10 is where it's telling us. 10. Oh, I might have. I think that's what we got to do. Just make sure that end parentheses is there. I think that's it. There we go. We got our automation menu. We got sorting. Let's sort low to high. Oops. It's doing our header, so let's fix that. Probably want to change it instead of the sheet. We could freeze the row. we could also change this so that it's the range. But we don't want to sort just the range. We want to sort the entire sheet. So probably the best course of action is just to freeze this top one. Let's see that again. Sorting, low to high. But I think, oh yeah, so the zeros stay down here. That's good. So it's not an actual zero, it's blank. If we leave it blank, it's great. If we change it to 0, I think it will be at the top. Let's try it. Yep. So if we leave it blank, perfect. High priority task. Set the priority to 10. And if we sort high to low. So the good thing, and the reason why we do this in AppScript, why we don't rely on us clicking here, is for some interesting use cases, like we create a task list for others, or we want this automated, meaning we want this to happen like every night. We always want to open this up and have the top priority stuff there without having to do it ourselves. We can set up that trigger, and I can show you that now. Trigger, now that we have the function created. Add trigger at the bottom right. We're going to select the trigger, so if you want to sort by high or sort by low. Sort by high, we are going to choose a time-driven event source. And this, you have lots of options. You can do it every month, every day, every week. Let's do it every day, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Within that hour, it will happen the first time randomly, and then every time after, it'll be 24 hours after. So let's save that. And now, every day, that function will run. So if there's an error with that function, it'll show up here as an error rate. It'll show up in your executions here, if there's any errors. If you want to, at some point, delete this trigger, just go over to triggers. Actually, you can't even see my trigger. My trigger, if you copy the sheet to your own drive, this trigger doesn't show up. It will not copy the trigger. You have to create the trigger for yourself. You can see other people's triggers, but you can't edit their triggers, and they cannot edit your triggers. So you create your own triggers, they create their own triggers, but it does affect the sheet, everyone. But you can always come to this 3 buttons over here and delete trigger. Delete forever. So we've added some really cool automations. I'm going to update the sheet. I'm really, really looking forward to even more things that people want to add. I think the next thing we're going to add is like categories, not just priorities, and figure out there's going to be a cool way to automate how to show those categories in different tabs, which might get a little weird, but it's super fun. Thanks for watching this updating of the automatic to-do list. Please get a copy over, again, in the description is a link to get a copy for free. It's free now.